Hello everybody, my name is Kashi, and today we're playing the Groom of Gallagher Mansion, the demo. This is found on Steam. You can also buy the full game. It is by the same creators, I believe, of Something's Wrong with Sunny Day Jack, which I will keep the demo videos up. However, I will not be playing anymore, which, trigger warning for mention of abuse, I will not be continuing playing the game because I left an abusive friendship and they were obsessed with that game. So, I will keep the videos up, but I will not be playing anymore. If you are watching this, it means that I have decided that there is enough content that shouldn't be too bad and YouTube shouldn't be taking down this video. But there are plenty of warnings for blood, disability and ableism, forced marriage, body horror, child abuse, death, sexual content, self-harm, and traumatic flashbacks. There are a lot of content warnings here, so please, for your mental health, be smart. If you think that something on this list is something that you personally can't handle, there is no shame in not watching this video. Just don't be a douche. Don't be a dick. Don't leave a nasty comment. Anywho, we're gonna play this game and see what it's about. Alright, Snack Pop Studios. Also, I know last time I did poke and prod and made some jokes about Sunny Day Jack. Guys, you're allowed to poke fun at things you like. For example, I mentioned that the art style made me think of Tumblr. That's not always a bad thing. I also mentioned that some of the writing made me think of DeviantArt. And, it wasn't the greatest writing, and I will give it that. But this looks good already, so I'm going to give it a shot. I'm going to have an open mind. All right, let's give this a shot, like I said. The stories I've heard about the old Gallagher mansion. The tales and whispers and rumors. Home to decadence and luxury in the days of yore, now abandoned out of fear and left to rot. The obfuscated photos, the promise of lost inheritance, and a history stained by misfortune and blood, spilt in greed and ambition. None of them have done this place justice. Quite the opposite, in fact. They all made it sound much more exciting. Okay. I'm already liking the writing style. It's already better than Jack. A quick look at Gallagher Mansion doesn't suggest anything special. It's just one of many other ancient, abandoned, century-plus old estates around here. I never got the hype. These decrepit old places litter this town like fallen leaves. No one has bothered to rake up. It's a spot for college dorks to drink and hope no one notices. An occasional haunted house for young adventurers and home to a few basic ghost stories that some of the older locals take pride in. Heritage and horror in one neat package. You'd never notice anything extraordinary just by looking at it. Sure, close to midnight, an eerie old mansion far off the main road will spook you well enough, especially if you're alone. Luckily, I'm neither of those things. Well, technically I am alone, but not by myself. I fondle the phone in my hands for comfort while trying to avoid the thorns of the rose. No need to prick myself just yet, according to Taylor. Gallagher Mansion is abandoned. It's been abandoned for most of its existence. So, why doesn't it look like a pile of splinters? Why are the grounds not overgrown with weeds and vines and poison ivy? All right, Taylor, who are you? Team, do you copy? What's the situation on the field? Over. Vice President, is that me? Doing fine, Taylor. In fact, I'm a little disappointed. I was hoping for something more than a light breeze, maybe a darker and stormier night to really set the mood. Over. Don't jinx yourself now, buddy. Optimal weather conditions will make the mission easier for you and me both. Over. You know, you don't need to say over when we're on a phone call, right? We can both talk and hear each other at the same time. Over. A pause. I could almost feel Taylor's pout on the other side of the line. I'm serious though. So far, this may as well be an evening stroll. Keep your guard up. If my sources are accurate, I'm like 90% confident we'll find something in this place. The voice in my ear is Taylor Potts, my longtime dorm bestie at Zephyr University. Why does that make me think of Zephyr Heights? And why do I know that name? Wait, is that from the new My Little Pony? Maybe. And the president of the college's Occult History and Sciences Investigation Club, aka the OSIC. Meanwhile, there's me, the vice president, if only because I'm the only other member who consistently shows up to the meetings. And that's mostly because I feel bad for Taylor putting in all this work for the club. That's why I'm here tonight, of course. Why I'm at the steps of the Gallagher mansion, dressed as some very uncomfortable nines, with a desperate ghost hunter walking me through a desperate plan. Long story short, the student union is a meeting away from dropping support for the OSIC. We've had trouble retaining membership for a while now, and the facility we use for our meetings is utterly wasted on the two of us. I mean, I see the point. Can't you be doing this in your dorm room? Their words, not mine. I can't tell if those are contacts or if his eyes are naturally two color, but he seems like the edgelord that would probably wear contacts, to be edgy and cool. What do you mean you're done funding the club? The OSIC is an incredibly important resource for students to explore their spirituality, their heritage, their culture. Okay, then at that point, you should just have a different kind of club. If you want to explore spirituality, why not just go through different, I don't know, different thought processes, different religions that are more spiritual based? Listen, Mr. Potts, I've pulled enough strings letting you have the club for so long in the first place. But I can't defend you when we're not seeing results. I like the please do not kick me sign. I appreciate that. You still have a friggin' anime club. All they do is watch movies and spend money on imported snacks. That's gotta be violating some kind of rule about appropriating funds or something. Well, good God, fucking out of here with this appropriation stuff. First of all, it's the Japanese Culture and Heritage Club. Secondly, they actually retain regular members, as do many other clubs. If you can't engage with the students of this university, you're not really providing anything of value. Space is a premium too. You know that everyone on campus is going gaga for that newly proposed juggling club, and they'd appreciate a room that's barely being used as it is. I mean, she ain't wrong. She ain't wrong. And the juggling club? The juggling club? You can't do that to us. I think it's the juggling club part that's gotten to him the most. Taylor's logic? Clowns juggle things. Clowns are scary and evil. Therefore, the juggling club by default is scary and evil. But again, dude, it's just two people. Fucking hang out in your dorm room and do it. There's gotta be another way. Please. What do you need us to do to save the club? All you need is a few more members. It doesn't matter how you do it, as long as you can show us that the OSICO is still relevant to the student body. OSIC. Mm-hmm. Yes, and that. Alright, I already don't like Taylor. He seems like a piss baby. That's how it went down yesterday morning, according to Taylor. Later that afternoon, before I could start going through the motions for our meeting agenda. Okay, okay, here's the plan. You know that old house way out there on the corner of town? That old Gallagher place where all those deaths and murders happened ages ago? We've never checked it out. We thought it was too boring, too vanilla, but no. Maybe we made a mistake trying to find new things when we left the biggest stone in town unturned. Okay, but has anything changed about the place since the last time we looked at it? Tomorrow, we're gonna investigate the old dump. I just know there's something we can find in there. It's our last hope. Vice Pres, tonight we're hitting the books. Research like your life depends on it. And by we're investigating, Taylor meant that I go there in person by myself while he provides intel via a earpiece back at HQ. HQ is Taylor's car, of course. Maybe we could paint it like Ecto 1 and get a few members that way? Status. You've been a little quiet. Over. Back to the over thing, huh? Oh, I'm doing okay. Just thinking. Don't get cold feet now, buddy. We need you now more than ever. You've dealt with the paranormal before, and you've rocked their world. Are you worried about your lines? No, I've got the script down all right. Though my tuxedo's a little hard to breathe in. I'm worried about tripping on my gown. My wedding attire's a lot to get used to. So I'm going to assume that the first one's masculine, feminine, non binary? Alright, well, that's progressive. I'm going to go with my tuxedo's a little hard to breathe in. Can I loosen up a few buttons, take off this cummerbund, or at least take off the jacket for a moment? Over. Sorry, no can do. You gotta look the part for when you fall into the cold, dead arms of Elias Gallagher. Over. Understood. I'll look as classically ravishing as possible. Over. As I say that, I quietly adjust my outfit anyways. Taylor can't see me over the earpiece anyhow. I may as well be comfortable, and maybe even a little disheveled, as befits someone with my sorrowful tale. I'm at the door. House the Rose. Immaculate. Then go for it, buddy. You're about to change our lives. Can I ask you one more question before I start the mission? Shoot. Did, court entertainers or whatever still exist in Victorian times? I don't really know if they did, or why you're asking me that. I'm just saying. What if Elias Gallagher isn't the only ghost left in the mansion? What if I ran into his personal clown? Ghost clown? No. Why would you even suggest such a thing? I don't want to think about it. But I could be in danger. Unless maybe it was a nice clown who could cook. Alright, that was a nice tip of the hat to Jack. Quit stalling and start the mission already. There goes Taylor, hammering in the no fun allowed sign as well. I turn my attention back to the facade of the mansion. It really does look too well maintained for an abandoned building. The cool brass handle turns, and the door glides open. The first thing I notice is how stale the air tastes inside the manor. The second thing I notice is how cold it is in here, even compared to the light breeze outside. The atmosphere is unnaturally frigid, though not enough to make me bail out to grab a jacket, so long as I'm quick. This place has certainly seen better days. I'm in. How's it looking in there, bud? A lot more promising now that I'm inside, perfectly ripe for a haunting. complete with a creepy portrait upstairs. In fact, you'd probably have an asthma attack with all this dust. Is your sixth sense tingling? So, it's been hinted at that we have maybe psychic abilities? I don't know, because he says like we've done something like this before. So I don't really know. I don't know why, but it is super cold in here. As long as I'm in and out of here fast, I don't think I need to worry about it too much. That's reasonable. I think it's time to summon a ghost then. Roger that. About time I put that single year of high school theater to good use. Well, here we go. Prick my finger on one of the thorns, scatter a few of the rose petals around, then cue the monologue. I suck in a breath as the thorn pricks my index, channeling the pain into a sufficiently hammy performance. Alas, my poor, aching heart. I raise my arms toward the ceiling and choke out a few dramatic sobs before falling to my knees and burying my face into my hands. The acoustics in the foyer are pretty impressive, if I do say so myself. Woe is me, to have been abandoned so coldly at the altar. Why did the love of my life forsake me so? Today was set to be the most joyous day of my mortal existence, and yet all I feel is the pull of despair into my darkest days thus. Oh, woe upon such an unfortunate soul as mine. I can hear some slow clapping and a stifled guffaw from the earpiece. All I wanted in life was to know the warmth of a lover's touch. Won't anyone take pity on me? I let loose another pathetic sound of anguish while plucking off more petals and close my eyes. This is my cue to throw tomatoes at the stage, right? Tomatoes mean the performance sucks. I'm doing great, dummy. All right. Keep up the good work then, buddy old pal. I glance around my surroundings. I almost feel like the painting on the second floor is judging me silently. But it must be my imagination. Why should I continue to live a life unfulfilled? I almost think it's better to sleep an eternity, dreaming forevermore, rather than to suffer this cruel reality. I pluck off the last of the rose petals and cast away the stem. The deep crimson speckles of my blood glimmer starkly in the light of the moon, now dripping through the cobwebs-covered windows. Perhaps I shall die as I lived, alone with naught but my own sorrow. If God or some kind and gentle soul has lent their ears to my pleas, then take me now. I lower my head and let a few more tears flow down my cheeks. The ritual is now complete. Truly a riveting performance, 10 out of 10, Oscar worthy or whatever. Hey kitty, are you here to help me summon a ghost? Hey, don't kill the atmosphere. The temperature suddenly drops to the point where it feels like my blood is freezing in my veins. Something inside my brain screams at my legs to run, but I can't move. Kitty, I need you to not breathe so loudly near the microphone. I raise my head just in time to see the rose petals scattered across the foyer, swirling up into the air. Coalescing back onto the stem I threw at the foot of the steps. Alack, what blood is this, which stains the stony entrance of this sepulchre? Wait, who is that? What's happening over there? Yeah, I know, the voices are basically the same. Deal with it. That basically looks like Jack, but just with different hair. My jaw drops as the vague shape of a man materializes from the top of the staircase. My mouth is suddenly too dry to form a coherent response. Trigger warning, everybody. Blood. Elias Gallagher, in all his undead and ephemeral glory, is gliding down the steps towards me. Holy shit. Fresh blood in my esteemed estate, stained on a red rose no less. A tragic sight indeed. But not quite so tragic as the one who stands before me. Pray tell, who are you, and what is your purpose here? Bud. Hey, Bud. What's going on over there? Elias Gallagher, Lord of this manor. My name is... What is your name? Huh. It always feels awkward using your name. Well, obviously my nickname, Kashi, so I'm gonna use Takashi. It's a little less personal, because we're not on that basis of friendship yet. And I am but um okay. Gonna go with someone's groom. I am Takashi, a groom who was abandoned at the altar on the day of my own wedding. Should we really be lying to a ghost right now? With a broken heart in my chest and tears in my eyes, I sought solace in a quiet place away from the ceremony and found myself here. Takashi, you poor dear. You and I are not at all dissimilar indeed. I am well acquainted with tragedy, and I know that your wounds need tending to at once. Tell me, Takashi, would you like to forget the cur who broke your heart? Hook, line, and sinker. Honey Bunny, this is gonna go very bad for us. Oh, yes, I would not hesitate if there was such a way to ease my sorrows. But I fear it won't be a simple matter. Nonsense, my dear. I can melt away your anxiety and regrets, for it is within my powers as long as you remain inside these four walls. Now, will you accept this rose, darling? He holds out the rose I shredded up not too long ago, the blood gone from the petals and thorns absent from the stem. Hey, Takashi, what's going on there? The line's going haywire over here. I reach up towards Elias to take the rose from his hand, and our knuckles brush against one another. His touch is deathly cold. I will. I'm requesting a report. Do you need backup? Takashi, answer me. Wonderful, darling. Elias's hand glides up to my cheek, caressing it gently and phasing through my skin. Now, even death won't do us part. All right. I think I'm going to call it here. However, I'm actually invested in this. The writing, in my opinion, okay? So take it with a grain of salt. My opinion is the writing is so much better than the other one. Still a little cliche here and there, but so much better in this one. And the art style, it feels a little more polished than the other one. And the fluidity of the scene changes and the characters moving is just so much better than the last one. And the music is absolutely delightful. So, you know what? I think I'm going to play more of this demo. But like I said, there are trigger warnings for a reason, so use your own judgment. No shame if you find that you are having an uncomfortable time and need to stop. So, everybody, I'm going to leave it here. But as always, keep it salty, keep it real, and I will see you guys in the next episode. Bye bye.